So all the fabrics in the collection were handmade through the time-laborious process of needle felting. It's a technique that's used to make fibres often used in the medical industry, such as surgical masks, the disposable gowns and nappies. For me, it was about taking this technique and elevating it and making it something that was really fashion-focused. And I was able to create these really luxurious textural fabrics by combining a range of jerseys and silks and wools into the machine, applying the polka dot motif as I went. So it was very time laborious, but I loved it. Yeah, the collection's this crazy, wacky obsession with the circle, and I wanted to push it as far as I could, and it was inspired by Japanese artist Yayoi Kusuma, and she's very well famous for her use of circles and spots. So it was about translating that into free form, so shape, texture and pattern. So it was about the polka dot as a motif, the circle as a 3D form, so cylindrical forms and conical forms, and creating those in 3D shapes. And then it was also about texture, so I hand roulade hundreds of circular tubes and then hand wove them together to create my own fabrics as well.
Okay. I showed them my capsule collection optic, which I created last year in my honours year at uni. It's inspired by the 1960s. In particular, the optical illusion present in Bridget Riley's work. So I tried to recreate that and retranslate that within my designs. I use neoprene as a material for my collection. It's a heavy wetsuit material, so it helped me to create really oversized proportions, and I could kind of use that as a canvas for the prints in my work. Once I got in there, they were so lovely and so welcoming, and it was just a nice little chat. It was really, I had a great time.
Did you expect something a little bit more demanding, or was it?
I think I went in there prepared for that. I had my portfolio and all that, but once I got in there, they were so nice. It was just a really nice chat, lots of questions and lots of answers, which came quite naturally because it's been such a long year.
I suppose my collection is made up of upholstery, so from front on it looks like it's all about 6 different types of couches with different garment types thrown on top of them. So it was all about trend, the comings and goings in fashion. It's about redundancy, excess, frivolity. It's supposed to be quite humorous, and it's just supposed to be, I suppose, very excessive. It's all about femininity and historical, the way we treat fabrics in history.
Yeah, and tell us about presenting. How did it feel to you? Was it nerve-wracking?
Well, interestingly, you go in there thinking you know what you're going to say, but then, you work on the project for a year, so you know a lot about what you're doing. But in the end, it just all starts coming out, and I felt like I couldn't stop talking.
Well, what we've seen so far is an incredibly high standard, and originality is what we're looking for. So we've seen digital printing, we've seen neoprene, we've seen incredible laser cutting,
couches,
yes. Puff paint. It's been a really eventful morning.
And just the designers come in and they give you their little spiel about things. How important is what they say to how you look, to how you judge what they do?
It's the end of their 4 years, 3 years design degree. So what we're looking for is their view of what it is that they have been doing. And so it's important to understand where the inspiration comes from, where they're going, where they want to go, and a little bit about where they've been in terms of internship and work experience.
And when you're looking at all of this, the actual pieces themselves and what you hear from them, what are you looking for when you're doing your judging? What is it that you want to see?
We want to see originality and things that aren't highly referenced from overseas designers, that they've got, maybe the references have come from different places like architecture, the art world. We don't want to see copies of something that's happening in Paris 6 months ago.
And finally, you're actually quite nice to the designers.
So that's my, well, they're really nervous, and sometimes they're sitting in front of people that they may have only ever seen on television or interviewed in magazines. Having someone of Doris Raymond's stature is a little bit intimidating when she is probably on a daily basis mixing with some of the best designers in the world.